Hello, welcome to American Christian or Christian American. I'm Sean Legacy, I'm your host. If you would please hit that subscribe button or that like button to help spread these videos around. Now today is an impromptu video, so to speak. I make a lot of my videos ahead of time and date them. This one's going to go out right away. And this is because it's dealing with something that just happened. In a sense, I was the victim of racism just the past couple days. Now, it isn't directly aimed at me, but it's directed at what I'm doing. So I started this channel April 1st, 2025, this year, just, basically about 9 weeks ago. 8, 9 weeks ago. A couple weeks after that, I got into Facebook. Why did I get into Facebook? I got into Facebook to promote this channel. That was the main purpose. I was never really drawn to Facebook before, but that's what I did. Well, a couple of days ago, I was suspended off Facebook. Why was I suspended? I was suspended because of what I'm talking about. They won't tell you that. In fact, to go in connection with that, my church was suspended off Facebook a few weeks ago for doing Facebook Live and talking about, having church service and everything else. And the preacher happened to mention Trump a few times. Because it is a predominantly African American church, and he is speaking of things on how neighborhoods are being hurt and how this administration, the racism of this nation, and Facebook doesn't like it. So before we go on, I'm going to attach the video that I used as an introduction to Facebook. It didn't happen right away. It happened within the last 2 weeks that I put it up. And I had over 415 views. I didn't get the last view because I was suspended. I believe that this is the core reason that they suspended me. So in fairness, you need to hear what I said. And then we'll talk a little bit more. Hello, my name is Sean Wesley Legacy. And this is kind of my introduction to Facebook, a little bit about my history and what I'm doing here. First of all, just a little bit more of my background. As a kid, I went through many different traumatic events. I'm not trying to get sympathy with them, I'm just trying to lay a background with what's gone on in my life and what it's led to right now. So I went through many different types of traumatic events. I was naturally an introvert, but on top of the events, left me to be very isolated in my younger years. I probably didn't have really any friends from age 12 until almost 16. I went through a great deal of depressions. I had some physical abuse, nothing that broke bones or left visible injuries, but enough to where it was like a rejection of me, and there was no touch from one particular, my father, except to hit. And so it led to me feeling that I was in the way and useless. Also, there was a lot of hereditary problems. What I mean by that is that there was also within the family emotional situations with my other parent who'd gone through many different traumatic events in her life, and she didn't have the opportunities with people to overcome it. And many times the churches haven't been much of a help. They they have taught you in the past to hide away these things, just put them in the past, and a lot of these things go unchecked and undealt with. And we need to let them out, and we need to be able to talk to somebody, and we need to be able to pray with God and with spiritual people. And when that doesn't happen, those types of self-esteem issues and things can be passed on, and that's what happened with me. It led me to, by 16, I ended up going to the church, which was the best thing that ever happened to me. However, there were still issues that went on, and even though I discovered many good things, I also encountered a few different Christian brothers who were not really what they should be, and there led to some other dramatic traumas that added to my experiences. So these things just kept piling up in me, and I kept hiding them away and pushing them back, but they don't really go away. So throughout my adult life, for many years, I've had this ups and downs and ups and downs. But always I knew through the whole experience that God was the answer to everything. One of the things that I experienced when I was younger, I saw some things I believe was God given to me to understand. And that is, first of all, that the whole core of the Bible is about God's love for us, our love for God, and the love that we are supposed to have for each other. But there were many things that got in the way of that, and I didn't understand what it was. And the problem with having a traumatic background of trauma and self-doubt, self-image problems is that even though you believe in something, when you go through depression, you start to doubt these core issues that are really important. Well, they never really went away, but they got weaker when I went into depressions and then came up. I went through a major crisis in my life where I had to face a lot of this stuff. And it was because, first of all, of God that I was able to get through it. And second of all, it was by a few people that he sent in my life. These people were all African Americans. One of them is my best friend, who helped me to find value in myself and who has been there throughout my life as I continue to go through some struggles, but getting better all the time. I went to a predominantly African American church when I was 20 years old. And I'm just turning 60 in a few weeks. So between that 40 years of time, I've been in African American churches all but 4 or 5 years, where I did some other things. And there was mixtures of people and things, but there's other things I encountered. Anyway, what I have come to conclusions about is that my core issue is right, and it's always been right. But there have been problems throughout church history that have interfered with that. In fact, in many ways, the church has had a schizophrenic type of attitude towards things, or a split. Really, a split doesn't exist. If you try to go towards God and you try to go towards evil things, evil wins. And I've seen this in the church. The other key component that I've learned about as I studied, and that has corrupted Christianity in this country, throughout the whole country, not necessarily every person, is racism. Racism has been the core to everything. All the things that I felt when I was younger was wrong and didn't really know what it was. While I was not raised to be prejudiced and I understood of some injustice going on, my knowledge was just incredibly small compared to what I've got now. And my knowledge today is still compared to what African Americans know and understand. This has been the core, though, of my existence, understanding these things and putting in perspective that when you have poison in the church, when you base your Christianity on lies of the history of who the first people were and everything else, that your Christianity will not be as effective, at least not in the direction that God wants it to go. So that's why I've started a podcast, or I have a YouTube channel, whichever you like to refer to it. And the goal of the channel is multiple faceted, meaning that I have several different directions I'm going to go, but there's 2 main core principles. Even if I go off in different things, they're really all attached. The 2 core principles are: 1, what should the church be as opposed to what it has been? And 2, talking about the lies of racism and white supremacy, white superiority, which really does not exist in reality, only in the minds of people who wish to create it. Who the first people were, and that we're all equal people. So those are the 2 core issues. I will touch on different sidelines and things, but really they're not separated. So I'm putting this on Facebook because the reason I joined Facebook was to talk about what I'm doing. And if you're interested, and I hope you'll take a look, join me on this journey, because this is not something I know it all now and I'm just telling you about it. No, it's a continuous journey of discovery, of both understanding how deeply God loves us, and God wants to share his plan with us, and he wants us to be together. He wants us to stop looking at each other as so different. We are different in many ways, and we should appreciate those differences. But when it comes right down to it, scientifically, they have looked at our DNA, and our DNA is 99.9% identical. Now, do I agree 100% with science? No, I believe the Bible is true, but science is not completely against the Bible. I mean, there's many things that actually support what the Bible teaches. And there are many scientific discoveries that are actually in the Bible before they actually knew them. So the fact that we're 99.9% identical, there's only that small fraction that talks about how tall we are, how short we are, whether we're going to be husky or really thin, whether we're going to have light complected skin. Now remember, this is not white. This is actually a light shade of brown, or a darker shade of brown, or a very dark shade of brown. All that's determined in that 1/10%. Determine our body size, our genital size, our hair structure, our eye color, what are different features of our face. All of that is in that small little percentage. Otherwise, we're the same. We cannot be separate races. We're one race, human beings. The idea and concept of race is only applicable when it comes to a social construct, meaning that society has created the concept in order to separate us, in order for one group of people to raise their value above another group of people, in order to dehumanize another group of people through slavery, through brutality, and everything else. When we get the idea that we are all on the same plane, when we embrace each other as human beings, that's when we will really grow. Again, come with me on this journey. So as I learn, I'm also sharing with you, and I hope that you will learn. And the worst case scenario, if you're skeptical about this, just realize that you don't have to believe what I'm going to say. You can always reject it. And I don't expect anybody who hasn't heard what I'm going to say to accept it right away. In fact, that would not be good. Because we should make decisions that are based upon our own thought, not just copying somebody else. Just like with our parents teach us. There comes a time when we have to investigate those truths for ourselves and determine them. They have to be owned by you. So what I'm hoping is that you'll take on the responsibility and the action to research it yourself with honesty and come to a conclusion that is within godliness and truth. If you wish to join me on my podcast or my channel, whichever you like to call it, you can go to YouTube. Type in my full name, Shawn, S-H-A-W-N, middle name, Wesley, W-E-S-L-E-Y, last name, Legacy, spelled with 2 G's, L-E-G-G-A-C-Y. After that, it should pop up saying American. You can click on that, should lead you to it. If not, type in American. It should pop up. Worst case scenario, the entire title of my show is American Christian or Christian American. This is the background you should see, and this is the face you're going to see. Some of the videos have a different thing, whatever it is, and some of the expressions on there, because I allow YouTube to just kind of pick a slot, they catch me in some odd expressions. Oh well, the content is still the content. So if you like what you see, please pass, because this is not done just for me to get fame or anything else. This is done because I really believe in this. I really believe that we need to be together, that we need to care about one another, that we need to value each other in our similarities and our differences together. Thank you. And I hope that we see each other soon. God bless. Okay, well, you saw the video. You saw the video what I put up there. And it was basically talking about facts. But not everybody likes facts. And if you haven't figured it out right now, you have to understand that this country has had a long history of keeping people down. They have to do everything they can, one, to control the narrative of what everything is about, to make sure that people have the correct education. I'm sorry, indoctrination. It's not education. When lies are stuffed into people's head, it's not education, it's indoctrination. That's exactly what this country does, left and right. And anytime somebody tries to tell the truth, like critical race theory, they have to put it down and say it is indoctrination when it actually is deprogramming. So all I was talking about is some facts that I understand. So Facebook, really isn't a platform to where you can tell the truth. Facebook is a white supremacy platform. Now, they may not propagate white supremacy in the sense of having propaganda within there, but they're going to monitor what you say. Now, if you're just having little playtime, little things, and even some history videos can be passed along, but anybody who stands up and makes a choice, like the church I go to, which simply mentioned Trump a few times within a lesson, which is supposed to be the freedom of religion to talk about what is important to the congregation, and then they get suspended. Or somebody like me who, yes, normally I probably wouldn't be the victim of racism, but because I'm talking about these things, I am the victim. Even though it's not directly directed at me, it's directed at keeping people down. White supremacy, keeping African Americans down. They don't want me to talk about who they are and what they do. Well, I have a response to that. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to be mad about it, and I'm going to stand up for it, because God is what's important here. These people are not godly. These people are liars. Mark Zuckerberg, who is basically the creator and everything of Facebook, was one of the 3 richest men in this country, standing next to Trump when he was inaugurated, and other billionaires. You don't think they want to control the narrative? You don't think they want to keep people down? You don't think they want to keep the power and keep the money in the hands of the rich and keep people poor and keep people bankrupt and to keep you quiet? Of course they do. So I'm asking you to stand up too. I'm not asking you to quit Facebook. I'm asking you to say whatever needs to be said. And I'm hoping that you can tell other people about what I'm trying to do. And not just me, anybody else who has a narrative to talk about this stuff. We need as many people as possible talking against this white supremacy nation. Caucasian people make up 15 to 18% in the whole world of population. That doesn't mean that 15 to 8% of the population of people who are Caucasian are no good. But it means that we're a smaller amount of people. Now, if we want to be part of the human race, great. We can all be one family. But if we want to sit here and try to be manipulators and power hungry and control, we all need to stand up for it. So I'm not associating with myself with those who do that. I'm associating myself with the human beings. I don't look at myself as a Caucasian or white man. I look at myself as a man who happens to be Caucasian. What does that mean? It means that my emphasis is not on the color of my skin. The emphasis is on the fact that I share a common bond with human beings, that I am connected to human beings. I am not connected to a power source of people who put people down and condemn people. We need other social media content. We need, if possible, to move away from Facebook. But right now it's kind of hard. People want to be connected and things. But we need, I don't know, maybe I'm naive yet, if there's an African-American social media outlook out there, or if there is a collaboration between Caucasians and Black people and other people who really, truly want to be human beings and want to promote things. We need an outlook out there so we can talk about things that is real instead of being censored by people who want to control the narrative. We have to be done with people who control the narrative. Isn't it time that this country grows up? We have a lot of spoiled children trying to promote their egos who do not follow God, and some of them claim to follow God, but they promote hate. They want to cut out Social Security. They want to cut Medicare. They want to do all things to hurt people because they do not care about people. And as I have down the road here, I've already made an episode talking about healthcare. Healthcare, they don't want people to have healthcare because they don't want African Americans to have healthcare because they hope they die off. And we're going to be talking about that. We got to stand up. When will we stand up? All these other nations in this country, African Americans have been standing up for years. Please don't misunderstand me. But I mean, we need to stand up more as a whole nation together against this whole thing. Other countries, when things are put down by these other democratic nations, what do? They stand up in the millions. It takes forever for us to stand up here. So if you think some of this stuff is wrong, why are you sitting down? Why are you not standing up? Now, what I'm doing is sitting down, of course, but I'm standing up in the sense of standing against these things. What are you going to do? He said, well, I don't know what you can do. Something small. Say something against people who talk bad about people, who are racist people. Say something, do something. It's time that we stand up and do something different. Are we going to wait another generation or two? Are we going to let these people rule in greed and selfishness and power? Are we going to let organizations like Facebook, as social media becomes stronger and stronger, are we going to allow them to control the narrative and put us down to keep us more suppressed? Or are we going to say enough is enough? You've had it long enough. What are we going to do? I hope we're going to do something. One thing you can do, if you approve of what I'm doing and prove what I'm saying, is tell at least 4 or 5 people that you know of what I'm doing and give them a chance to make their own judgments. If you could please do that. Please let people know what I'm doing. And then tell people about other avenues out there, Roland Martin and other people who are talking about it. And tell people about Jane Elliott and Tim Wise. We all have a little different approach to it, but we're talking about justice. I'm talking about Christianity and what Christianity is supposed to be, and I'm talking about racism and what harm it does and how evil it is. If Facebook's going to control the narrative, and if we let that happen, then we are letting other people be hurt, not just ourselves. We're allowing other people to be hurt. We are told to be individuals in this country. And we think that's a great thing. I'm not saying that you don't matter as an individual, but look at countries like Japan and other countries who are collective cultures. They don't have everything right, but they don't have the violence that we have. They respect each other. When will we care about each other and respect each other and stop thinking just about what we want? Because, see, they want us to think like individuals because we don't know how to stand up when we think about individuals. We need to be together. And even if somebody doesn't do things exactly the way you do, stand up for them, support them, care about them, be the person. I don't want to live a long time and do nothing. I would rather live a short time, what I got left, and say what I got to say. And if they kill me for it, fine. Let's go forward together. Will you join me and join others? Now, you don't have to join me. You can join other people. But if you like what I'm saying, can you please tell other people what I'm doing and why you think I'm doing it? Because it's the right thing. Because we are all children of God. Please. Until the next time on American Christian or Christian American.